So when I first came to the Bay Area in 1997, I engaged in a practice called authentic movement. It's a movement practice that helped me strengthen my ability to move from within, to pay attention, and move from my own impulses, trusting my body wisdom and my experience. A self-directed movement with eyes closed and always moving in the presence of witnesses. It was the right practice for me as a young adult, for despite my seemingly being an independent, adventurous, tough, and risk-taking being, I still so found myself seeking direction from outside myself, often scanning people's faces when I was speaking, or listening for cues, verbal cues, to check whether someone approved or disapproved, and I adjusted my behavior accordingly. Authentic movement brought forth the courage to listen to myself, to trust myself, to listen to feedback from witnesses in an effort to grow and see what I had noticed or not noticed or didn't want to notice, and also to more readily discern when the feedback people were giving me was filled with projection. A simple guide in the practice of authentic movement is that when you get distracted or realize that you're moving around kind of aimlessly, return to the body, reconnect to the self, and move from there. In more common language, find my footing. Feel my feet firmly on the ground, root myself in purpose, and then move forward. Or as the late Ramu Aki, a fine fool and poet and artist, once said to me, "When I come to an intersection and I don't know which way to go, I stand there until I do." This authentic movement practice was essential as Reverend Kay Jorgensen, the past social justice minister of this congregation, and I were founding Faithful Fools, an organization based 10 minutes down the hill from here in the Tenderloin, a strong outreach ministry of this congregation. There were many voices telling us that we were naive, and especially as women, that we didn't know what we were doing. Yet we did. Our movements were and are rooted in the UU principles and purposes, and in the Franciscan values that compel me every day. This recall of the authentic movement practiced has served me well, especially in the last year, as individual and communal challenges abound, and the need to listen and to listen, and to learn is constant. Whether founding an organization, leading a church community, needing to stand and speak truth, raising a child, or making a meal, there is no shortage of people to give advice who think they know how to do it best, or have their ideas of how it should be done. I've learned that if we think there is a right way, we can often get in the way of what Buddhists call right action. There's a risk when we become too organized or too cautious as individuals and organizations. We can get disconnected from the spontaneous and ever-surprising sources of inspiration or challenges, or even chaos that calls us to action, and that can help us grow and discover courage that was beyond our limited imagination or that we didn't know we were capable of. This community, my intentional walk up and down the hill from the Tenderloin to the church and back again, the vision and mission and community that took shape in that intentional movement and continues to be shaped and directed, is the body I return to in these times. I long to move authentically with a clarity of purpose and a responsibility with all of you, with the community of faithful fools, with my neighbors, and all who are so unabashedly committed to be blooming, thorny, purpose-filled souls. May the reflections on this past church year, where we have moved and witnessed one another through many celebrations, actions, and challenges, lead us to move and act boldly as we anticipate beginning again.